How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map update for Farming Simulator 25 on the mod map North Frisian 25. And currently there is a history of a new save game being required. Please take note where you started your save game in comparison to the changelogs available. If your current save game is prior to the changelogs that requires a new save game, then do not update your save file unless you're willing to potentially break your current save. This is for changelog 1.0.1.0, and it reads, various deco errors fixed. Change various farmland borders around the farm so that you can expand the farm without problems. Corrected water level that brought an error message that you should not drive too deep into the water when working on some fields. Change the name of the wood chip shop, previously called grain mill. The plot with the house in field 68 is now available to purchase. However, a new save game is required for this. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game can still be used. You can change your clothes on the washing line after purchasing the property. You can sleep at the pavilion in the garden after purchasing the property. Car in the driveway removed. A helper spline on the main road was wrong. The helper now drives on the correct side of the road. Fence near field 9, a little further from the edge of the field. However, a new save game is required for this. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game still can be used. In the west and east, wind turbines are now available for purchase individually via farmland. However, a new save game is required for this. If this is not required, the existing save game can still be used. Water plane and cow pasture 250 again available again. Water lilies in the ditches no longer float. A new save game is not necessarily required. However, a new save game is required to use all the new features. Hence the reason why I said that this does require a new save game is because there's so many things on here. And I mention this even if there's even one thing that requires a new save game, even though it's not necessary. I will always say that they require a new save game if features will not be available if you don't utilize it for the changelog. So let's start at the top and work our way down, starting back with various deco errors fixed. Change various farmland borders around the farm so that you can expand the farm without problems. Corrected water level that brought an error message that you should not drive too deep into the water when working on some fields. Change the name of the wood chip shop, previously called grain mill. Now, this is the first one we can kind of take a look at. Now, I believe it's this one here, where it's now known as the wood chip market, and it's actually spelled wrong. It's wood chip market. So, yeah, that is, I believe, what they're referring to. And if I remember right, it was referred to as grain mill originally. Next one is, the plot with the house in field 68 is now available for purchase. However, a new save game is required for this. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game can still be used. And I'm going to read the others as well because it's all tied to this. It says, after you can change your clothes on the washing line after purchasing the property. You can sleep at the pavilion in the garden after purchasing the property. Car in the driveway removed. Now, one thing I want to do real quick is, this is the farm that they're talking about, or the property that they're talking about, is here in farmland number 68, or field 68. There is this property 232. We will go ahead and visit this first because, number one, I want to show off a couple of things. Look at this little yard mower. It's just a little detail that I thought was really cool. But now that we're actually standing here, we ought to be able to, and again, actually, let me show you just one more thing. Zoom in here. Now, I believe after we purchase it, these cars disappear, I think. Let's go ahead and try this. Go ahead and buy. And you can see, yeah, person disappeared. Does that mower? No. Okay, so the person disappears. We got a sleep trigger here, wardrobe trigger here, and the cars are still there, but can we delete them? No. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what they mean about the cars disappear, but what says car and driveway removed? Oh, maybe there was a car further down the road in the driveway, or not quite sure. Yeah, but there are definitely cars in the driveway. But how cool is that little mower? I never noticed that before when I was doing this original tour. Next one is AI helper spline on the main road was wrong. The helper now drives on the correct side of the road. Fence near field 9 a little further from the edge of the field. However, a new save game is required for this. If the plot is not needed, the existing save game can still be used. Now, if we go to field 9, which I believe is down here. Actually, here, let's go to the farm here, because it's going to put us a little bit closer to the tree line, which is where I believe the fence is. So you can see the fence right along the road here. Does look to be a bit off the side of this particular field, and does wrap around. So it starts out here. It doesn't go all the way out to this side, but you can see how it just kind of pushes up against this boundary right over here. So there's a bit of space now. I didn't pay attention to this when it was first, first doing the tours and stuff. So I'm just going to take it at their word that this is indeed pushed back. Next one is, in the west and east, wind turbines are now available for purchase individually via farmlands. However, a new save game is required for this. If this is not required, if the plot is not required, the existing save game can still be used. So we can see directly in front of me there are a couple of windmills. So we got this farmland right here. So it looks like, as best as I can tell, these all exist here in these kind of periphery areas. And you can see the periphery is $8 million. Now, it says that they can be individually purchased. So maybe I'm just kind of skipping out on something, because there is these here. There's this plot of land here for $3 grand. Let's visit this. Is this a wind? Oh. Okay, so it is a wind turbine, but I'm inside of it. Let's try visit here. Is it going to do this? It did the same thing. So you can purchase these ones in the west individually. Is there plots that I'm just not noticing here in the east? Yeah, the only ones in the east I'm aware of are these ones over here, but they're not individual plots. So it's definitely here in the west, you should be able to purchase these, and you can purchase these with no problem. I'm just not sure where in the east they're referring to, but these are the only ones I'm aware of, but you can't purchase these individually. You have to purchase them part as a periphery. Next one says, water plane on cow pasture 250 available again. So 250 is right here. Let's go ahead and visit. And as best as I can tell, it's basically saying that the water plane, if you dig down, is going to be there. Maybe the pond wasn't showing up here? Because you can see, yeah, there's definitely kind of a mucky area right there. So maybe that's what they're referring to. Water lilies in the ditches no longer float. A new save game is not necessarily required. However, a new save game is required to use all new features. And that's it. That is everything here for changelog 1.0.1.0 here on North Frisian 25. I hope you enjoyed this update, and if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. The show is engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.